Because I prayed to God and I said, God, if you're out there, please just let me die or take me out of this lifestyle I'm living. And it wasn't 48 hours later that I was in the back of a state police car looking at doing 10 years for trafficking meth. And instead of feeling bummed out about it, I just knew that it was an answer to my prayer. I felt lighter. I felt like, wow, this is God telling me he's there, because it was an answer to my prayer. He was taking me out of that lifestyle. My name's Joseph, and I'm a graduate from the New Life program. I was a stinky kid growing up. I wasn't very popular, I was, it was pretty rough, I was the poor kid. Yeah, it was pretty rough goings. Started drinking at a young age, probably about 12 or 13. My main problem with the law was selling drugs, and I started out at a very young age, selling weed, and it just escalated into other things later on. And then back in 2000, I got arrested for trafficking methamphetamine. And that really brought things to a halt for a while. But as soon as I got out of prison, I started right back up, wheeling and dealing. And that was just part of my lifestyle, something I just accepted about myself, I was walking around every day like I was living on borrowed time. All the people around me were dying from fentanyl use. And I was part of that as well, so I always felt like my days were numbered. It could happen at any time that I was gonna die. Somebody gave me enough money for a bus ticket. I can't even remember. I did some side work once. I met her at the bar. She's asked me what I was doing. I told her, yeah, man, I just need to get out of here. I'm waiting to get some bus money. She handed me a couple $100, and I was gone the next day. I just kind of packed up and left. It was really good. It was the best decision I had made because everything was just falling apart down there. And I was homeless, living out of a car half the time. I didn't know what was going to happen. I felt pretty depressed and pretty at ends with myself. Like there was nothing really left here for me. Then I came to the doors of the mission and got into the New Life program right away, and it all changed quite rapidly. I had that light at the end of the tunnel. It was no longer a train. It was the light of Jesus, and it was showing me the way. I didn't want to live anymore, and now I'm very happy living and looking forward to the future. I'm very happy with the fact that I might be here a while. No, seriously. And the thing is, it's like slowly and surely I'm growing this heart for God and a love for God that I never understood before, and that's what motivates me now. So it's like where before it was trying to numb who I thought I was, all the lies that had been told to me, all those things that I believed. My sole purpose was to numb that feeling about myself. And now I no longer have to numb that feeling, because that feeling is not there anymore. God has given me a new identity. I'm already living in a manner that really exceeded any expectation I ever had for myself right now. I'm still breathing for one, and I got a desire to breathe tomorrow, and I got a desire to go to work, and I have a desire to open up and get to know people and try new things, and yeah, things are a lot better now. The best thing about that program is the counselors there. I mean, they showed me, they didn't just tell me about God's grace, they showed me what that looked like. And they didn't just tell me and teach me about loving your neighbor and loving God. They actually showed me what that looked like. Just the way they lived their lives, the way they held each other accountable and they held us accountable and was always there to help us and pray with us and encourage us. And it's amazing how just a little bit of encouragement will bring somebody up out of where they're at. It doesn't take much. Just some people are just looking for just a little bit of encouragement. That's all they need. And there was a lot of that given. Words can't express the opportunity that has been given to me by way of the New Life program. has been a growth vehicle for me to change my life. And I feel like if I was in the position to give to the New Life program, which someday I may be, I would definitely do so. It's definitely a worthy cause that has created life where there was death, light where there was darkness, and it's a beacon out there for those who really, for the worst of us, really. I mean, if you want to make changes in society, it starts with the really bad guys, and I was one of them, man. I'm not going to paint any other picture. You know, I did some things, and you know, I was not a savory character, and I'm really grateful for the New Life program to not only show me what God's love looks like, but giving me a heart to love Him back.